satay. We're also going to make mushroom and spring onion satay as well. So you've got a meat version and you've got a vegetarian version. The main thing about this really is the satay sauce, because it's absolutely delicious. I made a load for my wedding. Yes, I catered for my own wedding. But while we're at it, just quickly, you can see this on another video that we did, boning a chicken or boning a turkey, which we did on the Christmas series. But I'm just going to quickly whip off the breast and the legs on here, and then we can get concentrating on the satay. So just very, very quickly, I'm just going to whip the legs off. I'm actually just going to use some breast for this recipe. Snap it back. But so if you want to see this all the way through, click onto the other videos that we've done. Underneath the oyster. Snap it back. Boom, boom, boom. And then I just want the breast on this. I'm just going to clip back the bones. And I'm going to go down that side of the breastbone and just take the breast off there. If I bought this from the supermarket, it'd be about the same price to buy a couple of breasts, which would be a lot smaller than it is to buy chicken. So I always buy a whole chicken and just bone it myself, and then I've got so much more meat that I can use straight through there. And you get all this gorgeousness as well. Put that out of the way. So I'm just going to use the breast. I'm going to take the wing off. Use that another time. Ooh, still got a wishbone in there. That doesn't help, does it? Get rid of that. And I'm going to take the skin off. That comes off really easy. I've said this before, but look at those big breasts. So much bigger than you can buy. That's the fillet. So that's perfectly usable for the satay. And I'm just going to break this down a little bit into smaller amounts. I'm going to take a little bit of the fat off. I don't tend to take fat off meat because it tastes really good, but I just want this to look pretty neat and tidy. So I'm just going to do some thin strips. I'm just going to cut this down a little bit because that top end is really thick. And I'm just going to cut it down into long strips like this for my satay. So this is just an example what you can do. Fillet's always good if you chop that in half too. And then what we're going to do, got my skewer. What's really nice is if you sort of do it in long strips, you can do it like this as a sort of a snake, wiggle in and out. And you can put one on there or two on there, and that's lovely. So imagine they're all in skewers. All I'm going to do is put a little bit of soy sauce on there. That's my chicken hand, so I'm not going to cross-contaminate anything. And obviously I'm working on another board. So a little bit of soy sauce on there. They just need a marination for about 20 minutes, that's all. Get another knife, chop this. I can't touch this now. This is painful. I can't touch it, I've got a chicken hand. It's against my laws. And then a little bit of lime juice or lemon juice on that as well. The acidity will work really well, the salt will work really well, and we're just going to leave that and marinate that. So while that's marinating, I'm going to get on with the satay sauce, and obviously going to wash my hands. So we're moving on to the satay sauce. Again, really easy, storeroom ingredients. Peanut butter. I like to use crunchy peanut butter, but you can use smooth as well. Of course you could crush your own peanuts, but peanut butter is just a convenient way to do a satay sauce. So it's just sort of a 10-minute job when you come home from work, and you can put it with anything. So you could do like fish, chicken, vegetables, and just shove a satay sauce on it. One of my favourite salads is Gado Gado, and it's an Indonesian salad. So it's got like chopped vegetables in it, but also potatoes and eggs, and it's just peanut sauce on top of it as well. So I am going to throw in about 120 to 150 grams of peanut butter. That's that. I'm going to add in some water as well. Your recipe's there, so you can see that. Some soy sauce. A little bit of sort of 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. Going to put that on a gentle heat as well. Don't want it to burn. And then I'm going to put the block coconut in. You could use coconut milk if you wanted to, but I like block coconut because it adds a lovely thickness to it. It makes it all thick and yummy. And we're going to use just under half of that. You can see that it's got sort of a fat layer on top. So I tend to use that as well. Tasty. And if you get a nice fresh packet, if you leave it in the cupboard for too long, it does dry out a little bit, but that's fine. But if you get a fresh packet, it usually just crumbles. I say crumbles, maybe it doesn't crumble. I'm lying. And I'm just going to crumble it up and put it in there. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. So there you go. So that's that done. Peanut butter, coconut milk, water to make our coconut milk. And I'm just going to put a few more flourishes in. So I'm just going to put some spring onion bits in there. So again, just choppy. If you cut these at an angle, they look so much sexier. Again, this is optional. Peanut butter, coconut milk and water. That's all you need for a satay sauce. But this is just a little bit of flourishing extra. Turn up a little bit. And the water-wise, the water's up to you, what consistency you want. If you want it really, really thick, so it's sort of gloopy and it can stick to your satays, that's fine. But if you want to thin it down a little bit, put more water in it. Lime juice, so just freshly squeezed lime in there. I might just leave the lime out for now because these are quite juicy, and just taste it at the end and see if I want any more lime in it. A little bit of ginger. So let me just grab a teaspoon. So just peeling ginger, you can just peel it really easily with a teaspoon. The other thing is if you don't use a knife, you get all the nutrients just under the skin as well. Making a mess. Ooh, what's happened to that one? So just a little bit of ginger. I could grate this, but I'm just going to chop it up really small. So, and again, ginger, depends if you like ginger, how much you want to use. My friend fed me ginger when I was pregnant, and it took me years to get back onto ginger again. So some ginger in there. And some garlic as well. So squish down those bulbs. Let's throw that in there too. It'll just help the skin come off if you do it that way. And then I'm just going to give it a chip chop. Take that little bit off the end. Ooh, it's bubbling away now. Of course you could crush it as well if you want to, or just chop it roughly. You're eating Asian food, you want to taste your garlic. So give that a mix up. Going to let all that coconut, which I thought was really crumbly, that isn't. It's obviously an old packet. And I'm just going to boil that away, keep adding water to get to the right consistency, because I say that coconut milk, or that block coconut will thicken it up as well. Now while that's doing its thing, I'm going to prep some mushrooms. Get all these out of the way. Made a mess, haven't I? I don't like mess. So we're going to get some mushrooms. I'm going to do a satay version. Now just talking through sticks, if you use bamboo sticks, make sure you soak them for at least 20 minutes. So just put them in water and just toss them around, because if not they'll burn when you cook them. So got some mushrooms here. I just want to make sure they're clean. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water and just make sure there's no bits on those. So just take a few just to do it as an example. So these are shiitake mushrooms, but you can use any mushrooms you fancy. So I've got those. I'm just going to take a little bit of that top off because it might be because it's in the ground. Not so nice. And I'm just going to sort of chop them. The stalk's a good one. Ooh, satay. Just turn that down a little bit. A bit of water in there. Oh, I love satay sauce. So good. I'm just going to put a little bit of coriander in there in the end as well. Oh, yummy. So, get these done. So we just want sort of chunks really. Mushrooms are brilliant because they hold together really well. And then we're going to use some spring onions. I'm actually not going to take so much of these bits off the top, so I'll save that for something else. Get rid of those bits so I know that I can use those for something else. Take the end bits off. Ignore that. And then just going to cut these into half and then cut them again. So they'll go nicely on the sticks. So, put your mushrooms, spring onion, mushroom and spring onion. You can use your stalks as well. Use the top, use the bottom. And that's the mushroom. So that's it, that's all you have to do. So that's a lovely vegetarian version. Now what I'd probably do with that as well, I'd probably give it a little bit of a marinade. So if I had them all together, I'd probably just sprinkle on a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of lime juice maybe. If I had them on a plate, pretend I got them on a plate. A little bit of lime. And they'll just soak that up and it will just help them cook as well. And maybe because mushrooms dry out a little bit, I'd probably put a little bit of oil on there, or spray some oil on there just before I grill them. So you can pan fry them, but grill them is really nice. Probably sort of 2 or 3 minutes each side. The same with the chicken. The chicken's probably going to take about 8 minutes till it's really cooked. And then your satay sauce is going to be ready. In fact, it's ready now, just about. So that's it. What I'd normally do with that as well, I'd probably just finish that off with a little bit of coriander. So I reckon it's about the consistency that I like now. It doesn't take long to cook. It's about right for dipping. Lovely. So I'll just finish off with coriander. Leaf coriander is really good to finish things off with, Asian-wise. Some people don't like it because it's soapy, but then, you know, you can just not use it. So just put that in there like that. And while I've got some spring onions, I might as well use them up as well. The green. A little bit of consistency, a little bit of garnish, throw that in. Lovely. Peanut sauce, satay sauce and kebabs, one of my favourite things. Enjoy.